Okay, so here is your first lesson on the circle of fifths and chord progressions and all those things. So we're going to start out with the key of C. So the key of C has 7 notes in it. We've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? No sharps, no flats. So if you were playing on a piano, you'd be hitting only the white keys. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out the first C. We're going to skip a note, go to the third E, and then skip a note and go to the fifth. So the chord, the C chord, is made up of 3 notes, C, E, G. And you can do this with any note in this progression. The key of the D chord here is going to be D, F, A. And a D, F, A is actually a minor, but we'll talk about that later. So C, E, G are the notes of the C chord. So that's C chord, C, E, G. So if you think about probably the most common C chord that you know, it's got a G, an E, a G, a C, and an E. Now, interestingly, I had a guitar teacher tell me that any chord, the most important notes are actually the 3rd and the 5th note, which would be E and G. So in this particular voicing, G, E are both played twice and C is played once. So I don't know if that's true, but he said that. So he was a really good guitar player. All right, so you play the C chord, you're playing those 3 notes. That makes up the C chord. So if we think about the chords in the key of C, you've got C in the first position, because this is the key it's in. The next one, second position, is D minor. Third position is E minor. Then our 4th position is F. Down here, 5th position, or also called 5th, 7th. We'll talk about that in just a second. 5th, 7th is G. Then we've got A minor, B diminished, and C. Now, I like to look at it in this pattern because it helps me remember that this chord is always a minor. No matter whatever key you're in, this position is always a minor. Same with the 3rd position and the 6th position. These will always be minor chords. And this one will always be a diminished chord, or it's like minor 7th flat 5, but you can call it diminished anyway. So this is the key of C. Now you can play these chords kind of all together at any time in any progression, and they actually sound pretty good together. Like you can't hit it. I mean, it'll just sound different, but it won't sound like out of tune. Now the really important notes, obviously the first one, our first chord is a C chord. The C chord has a natural minor, and the natural minor is A minor. We'll talk about that when we do minor scales, because A minor is the natural minor of the C. Whatever chord is in this position as we progress forward will always be the natural minor of whatever key we're in. Now the 7th, this is always the tension chord. If you play a G, or specifically here it's a G7, it will, sorry, I need to write a 7 here, G7, that will create tension, and the best way to relieve that tension is with the C. Maybe I'll grab my guitar and play that in just a second. B diminished, let's see, A minor, D, yeah, so if we want to talk about chord progressions, one example would be 1st, 4th, 5th. So 1st, C, 4th, F, G. So I can't hold the phone and play the guitar at the same time, but give that a try. Play C, F, G, and it's going to sound like La Bamba. Da, 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 da. C, F, G, very popular progression, but there's all kinds of chord progressions as you look through that. So this is the key of C. Hopefully don't have any questions, but what's really cool, just going back to this guy, C, C, E, G. Good. D minor, D, F, A. E minor is E, G, B. F is F, A, C. G7th, the 7th chord, tension chord, that would be G, B, D. A minor would be A, skip, A, C, E, ace. A, C, E. So any way you combine those three notes anywhere on the fretboard and you've got that chord. B diminished is going to be B, D, F, and back to C. And that's how it's going to progress as we progress through all of the different keys, that it'll be the same way, like you'll just write the notes. So we'll talk about the next key on the next video, if you even like this video. I don't even know if you even watched it, but anyway, hopefully this is a good start.